What's up, everybody? It is your boy James Wudi. I hope you're having a fantastic, merry holiday season. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. I hope, if Santa was the person who was supposed to come through, I hope Santa treated you well. I hope you just enjoyed the family time. There is nothing in this world like family time. So I hope you enjoyed it. And, the three F's, one of those is supposed to be football. But if you're a New York Jets fan like me, which you should be, because it should be the only reason why you're watching the show, football hasn't been great. Hasn't been great. So take all that love for football, right? That you've just been stripped of because the New York Jets stink, and just double that up on the family time. Double it up. And just enjoy the season. Of course, we got another big holiday coming up. New Year's, gonna see that ball drop, and boom, we on to 2026, and hopefully, we see a better New York Jets football product that year. But for this year, that's still happening. We got two more games, and in each of those games, we still will be identifying three things worth looking at in those games. So that is why we are here. It is now. We got the Wudi-3. Let's pull it up. There it is. Might see a name that you haven't seen before in the Wudi-3. And we're going to talk about it. But first, you guys probably should have guessed this. I've been tracking on this just about every week. It is Breece's chase for 1K. Okay, 1,000 rushing yards. Something he should have already had. But he doesn't currently have it, and plenty of people love to remind us every single day when they try to assess his worth. So now we are 46 yards away. He had 54 rushing yards last week against the Patriots in game 1. He had 58, which was a crazy number because at that time they had not allowed any running back to even have over 50 yards. The largest rusher they had at that time was Josh Allen with 53 yards. So this actually broke that record for the most rushing yards the Patriots had allowed anyone to have all season. So they are actually more banged up now than they were back then. The defensive line and a couple linebackers will be out this game. So I can't lie, I would be super shocked if Breece did not get this 46 yards. He has not been rushing the ball efficiently. That has been clear. 1.9, 2 point. Oh my God, these very low yard per carries that look like some of y'all GPA. It's been bad. It's been bad. But I'm still rooting for the guy. I still want him to be a New York Jet this upcoming season. I'm not sure if he wants to be a Jet. That's something that we'll be talking about these upcoming months. But I want him to be a Jet. I think he's deserved an extension with his fellow 2022 draft mate Garrett Wilson. It's actually funny when you look at that class, right? We look at that, Sauce, Garrett, Jermaine, Breece, the two guys that have been extended and seem to be a lock for the team next year are Garrett and Jeremy Ruckert. Okay. I'm not sure if that was on anybody's, prediction board, but those are the two guys locked in, whereas Jermaine is still kind of a question. Breece, huge question mark. And Sauce is gone. Who would have thought that Michael Clemens would have survived from that class longer than Sauce Gardner? Not me, but here we are living in this bizarro world that we call the Aaron Glenn New York Jets. So with all that being said, I'm rooting for Breece. The only jersey in this closet that, still is for a current Jet, my Breece Hall jersey, hoping he's a Jet next year. And this is just a huge, just monkey off his back so that people can just stop saying that same unwarranted criticism. We already know he could have gotten it, against New England, that game a couple of years ago, Bill Belichick's last game. But they don't want to give credit where credit's due. So let's get this 46, no problem. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we don't have to worry about it. And he got it in 16 games, which I think is worth noting because, that extra 17th, we know a lot of records are going to be broken when you get an extra game. But for Breece Hall's case, to get 46 this week, all right. It's like the same as all the players that we grew up watching. Actually, depending on when you grew up, because, there could have been 14 games. But anyway, that was number one. Number two, and this is one that I didn't think would ever be said on this show. Shout out to Rory Garvin, the man, the myth, the legend behind Jet News, all over social media. I mean, he's been actually highlighted for a different reason. Shout out to the kicking competition, New York Jets, Barstool picking it up. Shout out to Rory. He's doing big things. But he is also the first person I've ever seen use the term fail for Fernando. And that's, that should be pretty self-explanatory on what that means. It is time to fail for Fernando. If you are saying, Wudi, come on now, this is a complete 180 of everything you've been saying all season. Well, guess what? It's not my choice. If it was up to me, we would be gearing up, drawing X's and O's to smack New England all over MetLife Stadium. But I am not the head coach of the New York Jets. For however long, we are forced to look at Aaron Glenn as the head coach as the New York Jets. And he has made it crystal clear that he is tanking. He does not care about wins. He does not want to win. He is actively trying to lose games. You look at what he's been putting out on the field. 3 straight losses by at least 23 points. His teams aren't even showing up to play. Okay, benching a healthy Tyrod Taylor, I think, should be a crime. Brady Cook, he's not the worst player I've ever seen. He's not even worse than Justin Fields, but he is not the best option. If you are seriously trying to win games, he's clearly not the best option. That should be obvious. But apparently to Aaron Glenn, or maybe it is also obvious to Aaron Glenn, and that's what I'm saying, that he is trying to take mysterious IR moves. Now Will McDonald, EIEIO on the IR. Come on now. Like all these injuries that we don't see during the game, nobody's seeing during practice, but it's serious enough where now they have to miss 4 weeks or, the remainder of the season. It's just, they're doing everything they can legally to just put us in the worst possible position to win games. All right, depleting the roster, playing the wrong guy at QB, and they just don't show up. They just don't show up. So it's clear to me that they are tanking. They don't want to win. They're not going to win. If it is because they believe in Fernando Mendoza, then, I have no choice. I really have no choice but to support the decision. And I feel like that's kind of been the same scenario that I've been in this whole time. I didn't want Justin Fields. They signed him. What am I going to do? Just say, Fields sucks every week? I mean, I guess I kind of did do that. But, I was rooting for him during the game, though. I was saying, let's go, Justin. For Fernando, I don't think Fernando sucks. I actually think off the field, Fernando might be the perfect fit for the New York Jets. And what I mean by that is this is a guy who is humble, all right, a guy who, knows that this is a team effort. It's not all on him. He doesn't have, a tremendous ego. He knows the importance of great coaching, a great offensive line, thanks them after every single game. This is also somebody who is not, accustomed to just being the best player, the best in the world every year. He's had to scratch and claw for every single thing he has, and he's had to turn programs around. He has seen the ugly of football. He has seen the rejection of not even being a highly recruited prospect. He's seen it all. And I think a lot of, Jets QBs, that are picked high, they have, they've been stars their whole lives. They've been that guy. And then now they're kind of shell-shocked being in the nasty, disgusting New York media where they just rip them to shreds, and then being on this terrible team, which is going to lose double-digit amounts of games, for at least 1 year with the QB. And I think, that's always what gets to them mentally. I think mentally, and again, everything off the field as a human being that you would want to be the New York Jets QB. I think Fernando checks every single box. This is not someone who's going to get beaten down by a losing season. This is not someone who's going to get beaten down by, a disrespectful headline. He's been here before. He knows what it's like to be considered bottom of the barrel, and he just works hard, has faith in his team, has faith in his coaches, and, they've been able to turn things around. The issue with that is that, does the New York Jets head coach stink? Is Aaron Glenn a bum? That's what we're gonna find out. I don't think Fernando's gonna be the problem, but if Aaron Glenn is still, this guy who continuously makes mistakes and doesn't put his team in the best position to win, then Fernando can do all he wants. The team is still going to be trash. So that is where my biggest concern is right now. But it looks like they are clearly failing for him. So what is there left to play for? No, number 3. I got you. I got you for an answer. All right, what is there left to play for? Taking Back Sunday. I heard that they're a band. I can't name any of their songs, but I can't even confirm that that's even the name of the band. But anyway, the one thing that I would say I'm trying to see on this defensive end, can they avoid being the first team in NFL history to not even record a single interception in a game? I mean, this is embarrassing. I mean, we already have the record, 15 straight games. That is the record. And now all we're doing is just extending it out to a full season. And who knows how many games into next season will it take? I mean, so this is truly disgusting territory that our defensive-minded coach Aaron Glenn has led us on. And it's just embarrassing. It's shameful. But DC, Chris Harris, he on the first drive last game got a fumble. All right, I was hyped. I was like, hey, first drive without Steve Wilkes, let's get this money. And for the first half, they played a good game. I think it got away from them. Clearly, they did not do any scouting on Taysom Hill, because as soon as he was becoming heavily featured, the New York Jets defense fell apart. But this week, the Patriots don't really have that Taysom Hill type situation. Everything that they're going to see are things that, New England does week in and week out. So I'm hoping that Chris Harris can be the guy, get some takeaways, and let's get them in the form of interception. Drake May, we already know every game he's going to put the ball in harm's way at least once. It's a guarantee. So in that situation, can the New York Jets simply catch the football? I don't know, but I hope so. Those are two things. Both of these things are going to matter long term, in my opinion. That Brees record, I want him to break it. Come on now, get that monkey off your back. And then this interception record, I want it to end. I'm tired of the embarrassment. We already have the longest playoff drought in all of North American sports. We already have that. You really trying to add all this nonsense, all this buffoonery to our name? No, this needs to end. So, Chris Harris, please do what you got to do. Suit up if you have to. Come on now. And we saw what you did in that Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. Come on now. We need somebody to catch an interception this Sunday, and that's what we got going. For Fernando, they believe in him. They want to tank for him. Fine. I think, again, like I said, he would be a really nice fit for the Jets. Unfortunately, we'll probably have to trade, but of course, the more you lose, the less they'll have to trade up. So that's it. Let's go. Of course, I would love to not just completely give up in the season and actually, beat the Patriots and affect their bidding for first seed. But AG has already made up his mind. So I'm just going to accept the road that we're on and root for those other things, root for those records to be broken. Come on now. Jets, Jets, Jets,